You know what, Chris? It is. It's weird. Why is it so quiet?
Well, I'm not really sure. I think something's wrong.
Welcome to the FineCast, everybody. We're here. How are you today, Chris?
Oh, I'm really good. I've had some vodkas. Okay,
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I'm going to preface this with, I've had a few vodkas, not many, just 6.
More than you'd normally have on a Tuesday.
More than I'd usually have on a Tuesday. I've had
Just
about
6.
6, and that's just how it's going to be tonight. So it's fine. Look,
It's gonna be loosey-goosey.
Yeah, that may or may not have some impact on the quality of this recording.
What you audience members can't see is when Chris said, "I may have had," his head went in a little circle.
Yeah. No, I've had two hot dogs.
2 hot dogs?
Two
Wow.
hot dogs and an iced bun. So my doctor did say that I need to cut down on the cholesterol. So I'm going to do that, but tonight
Just
was
not
an
today.
exception. It's not today, yeah. Fuck that for today. How's everyone doing? How you doing, guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah.
Well, what about
I reckon.
you, Sam? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm alive. You know, I'm breathing. It's great. I am once again coming at you live, or not live because you'll be listening to the future, but from the gulag. So my internet is, as always, spotty and unreliable.
I
So I'll
can
probably
confirm it does. It can confirm it does look like you're in the gulag from Warzone.
He's in
Yeah,
the gulag.
there's even like a dog. He's over
Yeah,
there
and he's
somewhere.
got a pistol. The other guy's got a pistol. He's probably going to just jump out of nowhere. But I believe in you, Sam. I think
There's people teabagging in the garden outside. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're both in the showers with guns.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, who's going to pick up the soap?
But yeah,
The loser picks up the soap.
I'm done. I tell you what I'm
Chris
going
is
to do.
just like bending right over.
Yeah.
Because that's got me too excited. Because I'm in a suggestible mood, right? So what I'm going to do?
Might have something to do with the vodka.
No, it's nothing to do with that.
Okay.
That's just standard. When Sam gets me going, he gets me hot under the collar.
I'll get you going properly in a minute with a lovely topic in a bit.
When he
I'll get
gets
you
your
going.
motor running.
Yeah.
Actually, this week Samuel has indeed come up with the topic, haven't you? Which is
Yeah,
really
a
spicy.
rare moment of inspiration for the old Sam. So the topic I came up with, because people were asking, like, what should the topic be? And I just went, bleh, and that was the topic. And
Yeah,
it
it
is,
just came out.
Vomit.
if we had to kill off one Chaos God in 40k, which would it be? And then what would we replace them with? Because there must always be 4.
So we've got to come up with basically we've got to discuss
Kill a god.
why one of those
Yeah.
gods has got to go, right? And we need to argue our points. It's fair enough. There's only 3 of us, but I'm sure we can do this because we're all grown ups. We need to discuss which one's going to go, and then we need to design essentially a new Chaos God, which is going to be tough because they're kind of covering all the main things.
A lot of
right now, aren't
bases,
they?
yeah.
They're covering a lot of bases.
When you say design, are we going to do it like a kind of like Dark Souls character creation, kind of all the sliders on one side? Just turn all the sliders to the right.
Probably, yeah. And then you change their skin
100%
to
eat.
green, and then they put their jaw to maximum jutting outness and their nose to maximum inward. Yeah, and then it's terrifying.
Maximum sunken eyes.
Maximum
Popeye,
horror. Yeah. No, that's what we're gonna do. But I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be harder than it sounds because, like I said, they've monopolized all the bad stuff, right? So the Chaos Gods have currently got like incredible violence and bloodletting and stuff. They've got shagging mindlessly beyond like all comprehension. So
literally putting
shagging
holes
to
in
death.
people and then doing horrible
yeah.
things to them.
Yeah. Like shagging
alright.
someone's nasal passage or whatever.
It's a Friday night in Swindon, yeah.
We've got thrown up all over yourself on the train home on a Friday night, right?
Yeah.
We've got that one's covered.
And
then
cold
we've-
sores.
Yeah, and then we've just got general weirdos. So I don't even know if it leaves us with anything.
No, I reckon I've got this one nailed. To be honest with you, I think it's
you?
you just bin off Zinch. What's Zinch?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. Just bin it off.
we did discuss
Mr.
this
Wiggles.
beforehand. We said don't blow the load straight away. We have to reach that conclusion.
This is 6 shots of vodka deep Chris saying don't blow your load.
Yeah,
don't blow your load. There's no chance he's going to be pounding that fleshy lump for hours.
Oh.
The second this is over, I'm watching it back because we record this with video, right, on Riverside, so I can watch it back and see all the video footage, even though we only produce it in audio. So
see what Mikey's doing to himself.
Yeah, you don't know.
If I turn the volume right off, right, and I get the bits where they're laughing, when their mouths are wide open, but remove all the audio from it, it makes fantastic material.
You're horrible.
Just sticks a bit of Barry White on the Walrus of Love.
Right, guys, I'm going to jump the gun here for the new Chaos God. It's Chris.
He's blatantly a disciple of Nurgle, can't be?
I'm just doing a little bit of Nurgle, a little bit of Slanesh. I can't help it. So it's one of those things. But one of them's got to go.
Yeah. No, so I don't know. I just feel like with Zinch, they just kind of run out of ideas, really. They're like, what should we do? I don't know, magic.
Well, what I was thinking, what we should probably do is we should go through the Chaos Gods, right?
The pros and cons of each,
We'll go through the pros and cons of each because essentially we have to find one that doesn't quite that someone else can pick up the slack for, basically. And I think there are overlaps, right? There's definite ways because for my first example is Khorne is all about excessive violence, bloodletting, skulls, blah blah blah. But then Slanesh also has that kind of thing going on as well, right?
So, I don't know. Is there any pleasure inherent in Khorne? I think there is, isn't there? Like champions of Khorne enjoy the slaughter, don't they?
Oh, they love it.
Well, actually,
I think like lore. If we're going strictly from a lore perspective, which this is an extremely serious and faithful to the lore podcast, right?
Yeah.
So if we're doing that, we would say actually Khorne manipulates people into bloodletting by causing them severe pain that is only abated by reckless slaughter and only temporary at that as well. So if you basically you go into battle, your head starts pounding. You're like, oh, this fucking sucks. How can I? You can't take a paracetamol, you can't take ibuprofen, but what you can do is you can chop someone's head off and like cleanse their skull. So you've got a skull, and then you can bathe in their blood, and you can be like, oh, I feel a bit better.
Okay, so it's a cross between kind of arts and crafts and a spa, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it's good. Okay. It's good, and then it's just like acupuncture. Like if you get stabbed, you're like, oh,
yeah.
That was nice.
Okay,
so let's start with Khorne, right? Because we've already started there. So Khorne originally was the god of. This is going back to the origins of 40k lore, right? Khorne was not only the god of like war and slaughter, but he was also the god of justice, right?
And loyalty.
That's been kind of phased out as we've gone further because the Games Workshop writers just kind of got lazy and went, you know what, we don't make him too 3-dimensional.
Well, isn't Khorne the first god to have been born, first Chaos god to have been born? Because the idea is that he was born when the first human being killed another human being.
Yeah. It's kind of like the whole Cain and Abel thing, right? So
yeah, exactly.
He came along and he was like, okay, I'm the god of like war and slaughter and blood and all that kind of stuff, but also of justice and fairness. And he's kind of like the old school barbarian Viking thing. It's all honor in battle and all that kind of stuff. At some point down the line, GW writers went, you know what, fuck that. Rather than make it sort of that nuance, let's just make it that he just wants everything to bleed forever and to collect skulls. So basically his function now in the 41st millennium, where we're going to base this, because we've got to base this on modern day lore, right? We can't base it on the old stuff. His function right now is he is the god of blood and
murder,
skulls.
Death, kill.
Yeah, murder, death, kill, right? Which makes him kind of less important and kind of one-dimensional.
He is quite simplistic, isn't he? There's not much nuance to it, is there?
But what you've got to remember is that the tagline for 40k is, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, right?
And terrible novels.
And some dicey novels.
Sorry,
some
Dan.
Great ones.
I know Dan Abnett's watching this, and he's upsetting.
Well, hopefully he's not watching, because that would be creepy, but he might be listening.
No,
he's outside my window now. He's in the gulag. He's in the gulag. You know what he's just done? He's just no-scoped a man.
Absolutely amazing. He's just butt someone in the head with a rifle.
Listen, there was a chat today, and in the chat there was mention of the fact that lots of the Horus Heresy novels. You mentioned that a lot of the Horus Heresy novels weren't very good, right?
I think the phrase I used were "are wank."
Oh, wank! Yeah, I'd like to just.
Is that like R. Kelly's brother, or?
Oh, God.
Wanky, yeah.
Oh, wanky, yeah. I'd like to just step in there for a moment and say, whilst I see where you're coming from, that is a little bit harsh because there are actually quite. When you start delving deeper into it, there are quite a few all right.
There are some good books. No, there are some good
6 out of 10 novels, yeah.
Yeah, some good 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10 novels.
Listen,
I'll
tell you what,
the
there's at
paper they're
least
written on.
one 10 out of 10, and that for me was Saturnine. I thought that was an amazing book.
I haven't read
There we go.
Saturnine
I've not read it,
or
no,
listened
it's
to it.
It's
yet.
real,
I
it's
need
Dan
to do
Abner
that.
again. It's real good. And, you know, he's
Yeah.
watching, as I said.
Yeah,
Yeah, Big Dan.
These are
Dan.
the Siege of Terror parts, right? Is that Siege of Terror? That's like one of the first books in it.
It's like number 4, yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't started the Siege of Terror stuff.
No,
at all.
me neither.
But I will get onto that at some point. Out of the main core, the 500 or whatever it is,
It's like 52 now.
or
Isn't it?
yeah, 52.
Some silly number of books, yeah.
That it seems like the way was lost a little bit. I'll concede that the way was lost a little bit, but like there are some decent stories. If you go for a particular legion that you're interested in, you'll find good stories within that for those people. There's just a little bit. There's quite a lot of filler. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think it's a pretty well-known sort of trope, really, that everyone says read the first 4, and then stick to stuff that's written by Dan Abnett,
Chris Wright.
Aaron Dembski-Bowden, Chris Wright's okay, and then like just pick the chapters you like, you know.
Yeah,
exactly. And I've really enjoyed. Some people didn't like the Dark Angels series, for example, or they liked only one part of it. But I quite enjoyed them. You know, I think when you're listening to or reading a Horus Heresy or 40k novel, you have to leave your expectations at the door a little bit. There are some great writers in there, but at the same time, we are still dealing with a universe that is predefined to a certain amount.
Yeah.
And you know, the skill comes in. People like Aaron Dembski-Bowden, they know how to push the boundaries of where they're at.
Yeah.
And some people don't. Guy Haley, for example, doesn't quite know how to write something that isn't horrific. Like
There's some pretty crap ones, isn't there?
Yeah, the Indomitus Crusade stuff, it was just very Saturday morning.
bit boring,
villain.
yeah.
It made
what's this got to do with Korn?
Yeah, go on. Back on topic.
I mean, the FineCast has never claimed to stay on topic. Let's just be honest with that.
I've tried in vain.
We're trying. Sam's job
still
was
not
to
your
try,
night, mate.
No.
He was trying to stay on. He tries to keep us on course, but you can't contend with 6 vodkas. You just can't do it. There's no. You can't break through that barrier. Anyway, Korn. Let's go back to Korn, right? So we've already said that where he's at now in the 41st millennium, he is basically blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
Yeah.
His followers are basically written as mindless berserkers, and we've seen some visuals of a very mediocre Demon Primarch.
I quite like him. He's all right. Bless him.
I love the Demon Primarchs, but when you look at Magnus, we've actually discussed this on a previous one. When you look at Magnus and when you look at Mortarion, who are both very unique in their appearance, Angron kind of does just look like a fancy bloodthirster. And I'm just that's the last time I'm gonna moan about it, because I'll probably end up getting him at some point.
But that's what he is, isn't he?
He is, but why?
I mean, what are they going to do? Like turn him into a dragon or something? I mean,
do
he is what he is.
That'd be pretty cool.
If you can't come up with a good-looking Demon Primarch,
Rage
do
Monster.
Emperor's Children, and do. You've got so much creativity there with Snake Boy. Yeah, exactly. If it's like, well, we've got to do just a bloodthirster with pauldrons or whatever, just do Fulgrim.
Well, they probably realised that the sculpting was taking a bit of a long time on Fulgrim. They thought, we better punt out another Demon Primarch. Someone just better knock up an Angron quickly and punt it out through the 3D printer.
So that's Korn. he's angry, a bit one-dimensional, but in the grim darkness, there is only war.
Exactly. So within the context,
what's next?
Yeah. So within the context of the 41st
Yeah.
millennium, he is important because it is only war.
Yeah,
So-
he's got like story beats attached to it.
Yeah. So let's hear from this. This other guy was about to talk about why Tzeentch is boring and isn't necessary. I think we need to hear a bit more about this. So
Someone's got a real obnoxious pigeon. I'm just going to throw that out there, all right? I can hear
Yeah,
it.
that's me. It's too hot to have the window closed. I'm sorry, people. It's like 24 degrees and it's 8:30 at night.
I've got a fan on. If you can hear it, I also apologize.
I can't. I
but-
could just hear a pigeon screaming at Mikey.
Yeah.
Fuck you! Tzeentch is great.
who was
It's
that,
the
sorry?
birds, isn't it? Well, Tzeentch was just invented by someone who likes magic tricks, and Paul Daniel was afraid of birds.
What's wrong with that? Paul Daniels is fucking awesome. Well, was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rip.
Right. Rip. Yeah, press F.
Or maybe David Copperfield then. He was creepy as fuck.
So what, your argument is that Tzeentch is irrelevant because he represents...
it's like, the thing I always think is that the Chaos Gods, they're kind of roughly analogous with the biblical Four Horsemen, right? Except for Tzeentch.
Yeah.
So Tzeentch, I
Mr.
mean, they could have done a God of Death. Could have been something they could have done instead of
Nagash
change.
2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nagash is a big bad in AOS, right? Or one of them. But it just feels a bit sort of like odd. So you got Slanesh's, desire and that sort of thing, and then pestilence, obviously, for Nurgle, and then murder and war for Khorne. And they just kind of went off the rails and decided, we'll just do bird guys who change things into other things.
I like Tzeentch because he's like colourful. That's the only thing. Like in terms of, I'm thinking purely model range now. I was like, just pretty colours, it's just really bright blues and stuff. And when I look at it, you see all the weird eyeballs, and you're like, I like that. I like the weird, like, it's Cthulhu, isn't it? That's what he is. He's like Lovecraftian horror kind of thing, which I'm a big fan of. But Nurgle's kind of taken a bit of that as well now. So
right, hold on just a sec. Can I just ask one question? And by the way, Sam called you by your real name, so we might as well just come out with it, all right?
Huh?
Brap's not here.
We did it already.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
No, Brap's not here. It's Mikey P, everyone. It's Mikey P.
What you think? No one would have noticed that I'm not Brap?
No one realised. I mean, all that talk of gravy and northern stuff, pies and that at the start.
And butter pie, is it? Butter pie?
We got Mikey P in.
The biggest one was that I got a word in edgeways.
Well, this is it.
What I wanted to say quickly was, I've completely forgotten because of
Tzeentch.
I said some other stuff. Tzeentch, I've forgotten it. You carry on. You just carry on.
We were talking about his eyes and the bird things, and he's colourful.
Yeah, I mean, I think visually I quite like it.
No, that was it. Who were the four horsemen of the apocalypse? Because there's war, right?
Hungry, stinky, angry, and dead.
Yeah.
So that argument that they're kind of based on the horsemen. The first thing you said was desire, like Slanesh's desire, and I was like, that isn't one of the horsemen either.
Well, yeah, there's sort of an amalgam of the four horsemen and like the 7 deadly sins.
Right. Okay. What the anime?
The anime. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Why are their breasts all so big? Shh, don't ask questions.
It honestly might be a bit easier for us just to say who do we want to keep. And honestly, the two we haven't spoken about, I think, is because we're just like, lots of disease is like scary and like 40k at the same time. Because like you think the like real life, like the Black Death, that's pretty creepy. Yeah, and like totally. Horrible. So like Nurgle, he's got to stay, Papa Nurgle. And I love the juxtaposition that he's like a benevolent god to his followers.
He's the god of life as well, right? And rebirth and the cycle.
And they still keep that. So he's pretty, as far as they get, 3-dimensional. And Slanesh, like originally I was like, get rid, but then the phrase "fuck to death" just keeps coming into my brain, and I love it. Well, so I'm like, Slanesh has got to stay just so I could keep saying "fuck to death."
I mean, you've got to remember, right? So the idea of the Chaos Gods, like we said, Khorne was born from the original sin of the first man who killed another man. They're all supposed to be based on, or were birthed by the extremes of whatever they're related to, right? So Nurgle is when there's plagues, disease, I guess famine, all the horrible things that spread through humanity. that
Yeah, because he
empowers
can kill
Nurgle,
crops. So yeah,
and it's what made Nurgle, right? Slaanesh was created from elves literally murder fucking him,
a god into existence,
right?
which is just the coolest backstory.
Yeah, which is based on
it's
that.
It's not her, is it? It's Shim, isn't it? Or
he's basically an androgynous thing.
Yeah, it's kind of
the
both
whole point
and neither, and everything in between.
It's all sexualities, and Khorne is obviously based on violence. But then we come back to Tzeentch. What is that? Is that humankind's deception? Is it our,
political stuff? Yeah.
Tzeentch is less focused on something like basic but a major aspect of humanity, I guess.
Yeah, like
we can't control the other things.
Thinking about it, like if you like the Lovecraftian kind of cosmic horror and stuff, Tzeentch is like right up the alley, and I do like that, so I do like Tzeentch. But in terms of like the 4 stories of how they came into being, Tzeentch doesn't have as good as one as like war, disease, and sexy times. So
murder fuck.
Exactly.
Murder fucking.
Yeah, fucking to death.
I thought I'd do a bit of impromptu research.
Look at the professionalism this boy brings.
I know, right?
I know. We bring one. We bring him on, and look at this. The IQ of the FineCast.
I just thought I'd bring.
We've gone from a 3 to a 4.
Yeah. Just thought I'd bring a bit of class and decorum to the proceedings.
Yeah.
It says here anyway on obviously it's the Warhammer Wiki that Tzeentch is especially empowered by the desire for change and ambition for advancement among mortals.
Okay, which is quite big. It's quite a big part of 40K,
corporate
right?
backstabbing. Yeah.
People wanting to take power and seize power is what drives the war mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I still think Tzeentch is probably one of the best ones to... If we had to choose one to get rid of, it would have to be Tzeentch. And the only reason I think this is because I have a rough idea that's similar to Tzeentch for a god to replace.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Hold that.
Yeah.
Keep that in your back pocket. Yeah. Okay.
So part of my reasoning is for future topic.
I think, where we're at now with this discussion is that Tzeentch does seem to be the lesser part. But I'm really loath to just cut Tzeentch out for the sake of it, because Tzeentch is like one of the, I guess, on the tabletop in the world of 40K, Tzeentch is one of the most interesting and fun armies, if you know what I mean. It would be a shame, but we're basing it in the lore rather than the...
You can't get rid of Zangors. People love them so much.
Oh yeah, Zangors.
They're not controversial at all.
Yeah.
But, the Thousand Suns are a great army with a really cool sort of thing going on. Magnus.
Definitely. Talking of good books to read in the Horus Heresy series, both Prospero Burns is awesome, and also A Thousand Suns.
And the Eraman novels are quite interesting. They go up and down. Oh, we've got a doggo.
Oh, it's a doggo. Hello, doggo.
You can't see this because there's no video, but Sultan's just grabbed said doggo and run off.
Sorry, dog saw another dog and she started screaming like obscenities out the window.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck you, guy!
I'm a dog.
He's now in his crate.
Yeah. When you say crate, he's just stuffed him in a drawer.
Yeah, and that's exactly how chaos gods are made.
It's his drawer.
That kind of raw emotion creates chaos.
That's Khorne.
Well, I think that would be a new one. I think dog emotions are so powerful and unique.
Giant dog treat in space.
Yeah, it would create a dog god.
Do you know what I miss? Dog god. I miss the bloodthirsters that had kind of doggy snouts.
Yeah, they were a bit canine.
It was the gargoyle, wasn't it, from Hero Quest? The gargoyle had the dog face, didn't he?
Yeah, but he looked just like
Hero Quest.
Don't you get corn hounds still?
Yeah.
Or what they're called?
Yeah.
The bloodhounds.
Flesh hounds.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Bram, are you a flesh hound?
So
he's angry at me.
In terms of the followers, right? So just to add a little bit of the hobby, apparently we're a 40K based podcast or something. What? Someone told me that it's like 40K stuff.
Who?
So in terms of like the actual 40K experience, I think Khorne probably the most boring in terms of their demon selection. It sounds kind of rude. I know that Khorne is cool and everything, but basically bloodletters are very much just like your traditional demon-looking thing, right?
Yeah.
Compared to other stuff.
I like the tongues though.
Blah,
They
blah,
got
blah,
good
blah.
wiggly tongues, yeah.
I think the thing with Khorne, right, is if you just try and write a 2,000 point list with Khorne, just Khorne demons, man, that is boring.
Yeah.
Well, it's just blood.
It's like
blood
4
letters.
units.
Whereas
It's basically demon dudes
Tzeentch-
with swords on foot, right? And the same dudes on the back of like monsters that run
Yeah.
around. They're a bit
Yeah,
My
the
favorite is
blood
the
crushers.
burb of change.
yeah,
The big bird man with the
changes.
staff. Like that is the
Awesome.
coolest,
Yeah.
in my opinion, the coolest demon model that exists.
Yeah, but they've got
and I'm
all
going to
the
be sad
horrors.
to delete it, but
Well, that's
They've
the
got
thing.
a great model. They've got a great model range, I think.
They've got
Yeah.
all the horrors. They've got which I really like. They've got the flamers, which are just mad, and I think they're pretty cool as
it's
well.
weird, yeah.
They've got the screamers, which are totally mad.
Manta
and they,
rays,
they
yeah.
paint up really nicely as well with all their weird eyes and everything. They've got things like the blue scribes. They've got big turkey men, chicken men.
Magister. I don't think he's in 40k actually, is he? But Magister on disc.
Yeah, well, I
We-
mean, we can throw all of them in.
Yeah, they got loads of cool models.
all
Like the
different
range is
stuff.
really nice.
So Tzeentch is
Yeah.
probably topping out on the gaming side of it and what he sort of takes in game. I think you go back to Slanesh again. You've got demonettes. You've got demonettes on running demons. You've got demonettes on chariots
With licky tongues.
with
Yeah.
licky tongues.
Yeah.
And then you've got fiends. Fiends are
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool. I'm a big fan of fiends, and you've got some very cool greater demons. Like the new
And
Keeper
I
of
mean,
Secrets.
just all the tits and bums and willies, basically. So
all the tits and bums and
Oh.
Williams, which everyone loves a nice bum and a willy.
yeah,
And then
Hey, fuck to death.
fuck to
there you
death.
go.
And then
This is
Nurgle, Nurgle, if you think about it as well, are also limited. I guess it comes down to the fact that bloodletters are kind of the most boring of the generic demon units, right? Because
Yeah.
Nurgle is the same thing. It's plague bearers on flies, the odd beast.
Every time I look at bloodletters, I think of Tim Curry in Legend. Have you seen the film Legend from the 80s? One of
with Tom Cruise?
Cruise's first films. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And Tim Curry plays the devil, and he's got the most like insane red devil makeup.
Yeah.
And they lowered his voice by like 2 octaves. So he's just got a really deep voice, but he sounds like
there he
Tim
is.
Curry. Yeah.
Like Dave Grohl.
Yeah, exactly. From Tenacious D video. Yeah. But just every time I see a bloodlet, I just think of Tim Curry and like loads of red makeup with big black horns on his head.
Right, so
I'll tell you what, it's making me laugh. I know I've pointed it out once, but just whenever Mikey's making a point, all I hear is "oh no, oh" from the background. This pigeon like "fuck you."
I mean, we've been talking about fuck to death. I mean, it's happening out here on the trees.
I think
Zeech.
we should make the pigeon the fourth host.
The pigeon god.
Yeah.
The fourth member of FineCast for this episode. You have Warsmith Chris, you have Sultan, you have Mikey P, and you have Mikey P's pigeon that lives on the roof or something outside the window.
Also
Bless
known
him.
as Zeech, the Great Lord of Change.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's currently
He's saying-
residing in the sycamore tree in my back garden.
Yeah, Zeech is like,
Birds
don't
are
worry,
cool."
boys, I'll step down. I'll become member of this podcast that I found. You choose somebody to replace me.
Let's just give we need to give a little bit of a shout out. We're halfway through now, so we need to crack on, but let's give a little bit of a shout out to what Nurgle's bringing to the party. Right? No one wants to love Nurgle because he's fucking gross, right? There's no two ways about that.
Pussy.
The whole concept of him is he's like a vomit covered, bile spewing, pus filled.
Yeah,
Everything.
but he's got a sense of humour.
He's got a sense of humor, and apparently, so when you read through some of the like Nurgly lore stuff, apparently all his demons are like super fucking happy, like really loving their life as
just
Nurgle
giggling,
demons.
having a wonderful time.
And apparently, there's a planet somewhere out there where all the little Nurglings and plague bearers and all the Nurgle demons have linked hands, and their little chain of demon hands goes all the way around the circumference of this planet, and they just spend all day singing and like dancing in this massive chain that goes around it.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
in one of their books, and I don't know where it is, but I will find it and prove it to you. That is a real
Plus, they
piece
got
of lore.
names like Sloppity Bile Piper.
Yeah, I know.
You can't get rid of that. You can't get rid of that. And the Great Unclean One is an absolutely fantastic model. There's no
It's so
two ways
cool.
around it. Just a massive, disgusting. I mean, I think
Big old pus baby.
for some of us, maybe we identify a little bit with with great
With
unclean ones.
Sorry, with Nurgle.
and Nurgle creeps were like, look
just
at
roll into work in the morning and just spurt.
Yeah.
Talking of which, have you seen
Nurgle is also is also currently in possession of one of the Eldar gods. Did you know that?
Is it or is it the elf?
Isha.
Oh no, it is Eldar. Yeah.
Just licking
Isha, and he perpetually
He's got her imprisoned in his garden.
He feeds her his latest things, but because of her power of regeneration, she
Yeah.
always recovers from it. So she's in a perpetual cycle of horrific suffering.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Horrible existence, drinking his horrible potions. Yeah.
Because she's the Eldar god of like life and healing and fertility and all that sort of stuff. So he's just feeding her full of pestilence, and she's like, "Stop feeding me!"
Yeah, she's like, "I'm right now." It's cool.
It really does. It really does sound like a night at one of the events with Chris, where he's just like, "Hey, drink this." I'm like, "Chris, I don't want another bit." He's like, "No, drink
just
this."
Force feeding you monster,
Monster nitro and cigarettes. I don't smoke, Chris.
Yes.
I don't want this.
Drink it. Drink the
Smoke
tobacco.
the tabs.
Yeah. No, so
drink the tobacco.
Yeah,
it's a lovely new tobacco-based drink.
Have you guys seen the Great Unclean one where someone like filed off all his boils and stuff?
The Great Clean one.
That's even worse.
And made him like just a big flabby clean body. I love that. I think
that's worse somehow than the original, the Great Clean one.
Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, it's awful. I mean, brilliant. Well done, somebody. But it's the most like uncanny valley thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's wrong.
It looks like people we know. Like,
so let me put this to you. Right, we're at the halfway mark. So Mikey came in very strong with the anti-Zinch vibes, right? But so far, I think that we've had the least good things to say about Khorne and Slaanesh, right?
Poor Khorne.
Now, I'm a big fan of Slaanesh. I really like Slaanesh. But Slaanesh is also the newest of the gods, right? Basically, fucked into existence by the Eldar. The Eldar are a meh race, aren't they? No one likes Eldar. No one collects Eldar.
Incorrect.
Boring. They're sort of like Ponzi. I don't know.
Rubbish.
So Samuel, do we really need Eldar and Slaanesh? And so without Eldar, if we binned off Eldar as part of this as well, we could bin off Slaanesh and it wouldn't matter. We could just.
Are you railroading another deal through?
I mean,
this isn't Congress.
Two birds.
You can't do
stone.
that.
Okay,
it's like Futurama. Yeah, I'd also like to vote for the kill all robots clause. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
Okay. Okay. Hands up. No, not hands up. Voices up. Say I if you think Khorne should be removed. Right, there's no I's for that. Say I if you think Slaanesh should be removed. I.
Ooh, rubbish.
Say I if you think Zinch should be removed.
I.
And say I if you think Nurgle should be removed. There's no one left to I for it. So
just
like
pigeon.
That. yeah. What does the pigeon say? Okay,
Clive the pigeon is definitely anti-Zinch.
I want you guys to know that I have some Keeper of Secrets. I have some Demonettes. I have some Seekers and some Seeker Chariots. I don't have demons for the other armies, and I have just voted out one of my favorite. So I love Emperor's Children, and I can't wait for them to get a full proper redo and release one day
that'd be
and
cool.
Fulgrim to come out. And that day, when that day comes, I'm all over it, right? But I have just voted out Slaanesh in this scenario because I think if we're going to come up with a new one, we need the others, right? Zinch, in the lore...
What do we need Zinch for? I don't know.
So Zinch in the
my
lore...
other thoughts on Slaanesh...
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, my other thought on Slaanesh is just... Right, let's think about it in terms of, like, business, like modern GW, right? Pretty friendly to most ages.
Yeah, they're not going to do what we need.
Sex God don't really work in that situation. Somehow Murder God does, but Sex
I want to see
really
20 dicks. If a Slaanesh model comes out, I want to see 20 dicks.
Cut. That's the point, right? That's it.
Stick it out.
Chris wants to see 20 dicks.
20 tits in a big line down the body, 20 dicks coming out.
Why are there half the number of tits? Or are these doubles or what? What's going on?
They're just down the one side because one half is female, the other half is male.
Yeah, the whole point is that Slaanesh in all ways embodies both genders, right?
Yeah.
And it should be ultra sexualized at the same time. So you want 20 titties down one side, 20 man nipples, just normal like little flat nipples all down the other side, and then 20 dicks, but also maybe we need 20 fannies as well. 20 fannies to
20
go
foofs.
For American viewers, it's not the bum.
Yeah, it's not the bum. Well, we need 20 bums as well.
Okay,
we need 20
bums, yes.
Bums.
All the orifices.
They should just be a walking orifice. Carry on.
And a rhino with a dildo strapped to the top of it as well.
Absolutely.
I get a little bit uncomfortable.
You could ram into people. But
you will do when you see the rhino.
Yeah. We just killed off Slaanesh, so none of this is ever going to come true. Slaanesh is gone. Yeah. Right, back in the box. And therefore, I'd like to point out that Eldar no longer exist. Because
No, I think you'll find actually Eldar are now ruling the galaxy again because they haven't been annihilated by the cataclysm.
No, because they've annihilated themselves. They were on a path of damnation.
Can we have the Drakari still be?
They were on a path of doom
because they're depraved.
Yeah, so basically they wouldn't have gone into the webway. So Drakari wouldn't be a separate thing. Drakari are the original Eldar, right? They're the ones that escaped and didn't want to change their ways. Exodites fucked off away, and Craftworlds fucked off away before it got too bad, right? Is that right?
Yeah, ish. Yeah, I'll go with it because we have finite amount of time.
Go for it. Come on, give me. If you don't believe,
I say there are Exodites and Eldar Maiden worlds that predate the fall. Okay. And they weren't, murder fucking each other. And
okay, so there are some fancy like, good guy.
Exodite.
Yeah, Clancy Brown.
Yeah. Warhammer
basically
worth the sub.
So there's no Drakari, right?
No.
There's no Drakari, there's no Craft Worlds, there's no Exodites. They're all one thing. But you're saying that there were some Exodites, some people, some Amish Eldar that went off and were like, let's go back.
Yeah, Mormons. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So they did that thing. So let's just say that Eldar carried on hate fucking each other, and then they ran out, right? Because they did it too much.
What do you mean they ran out? Ran out of lube? Or
they ran out of Eldar because they just kept doing it until they were all dead.
Oh, okay.
They fucked to death.
So we've got rid of the disgusting elf people. Apart from Howling Banshees, I fucking love Howling Banshees. Anyway, we got rid of all those. And I really like Wraith constructs as well. In fact, I really like Eldar apart from...
So there's a bunch of dead Eldar and some stabby ones.
Drakari was the second full army I ever got for...
nice.
Right, less about 4K.
You. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Eldar, but I'm also not at the same time. So fuck them. They're off.
Okay.
So
we're very, 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 very slowly in a convoluted way getting around to what's the new god going to be.
Okay, yeah. So let's spin off Slaanesh. We've got Khorne, who's the god of war, blood, blah, blah, blah. Skulls and all that shit, right? We've got Tzeentch, who I was trying to say, Tzeentch is all about the long game as well, right? So Tzeentch puts in motion plans that will change events in a monumental way, right? So you got to give him kudos for that. Whilst Slaanesh is more concerned with the present, feeling good in the moment, experiencing in the moment. You can't experience anything anymore.
Yeah.
Tzeentch has more of a lasting effect because his plans go on millennia, right? So more integral to a continuing 40k universe rather than at the moment. Right? Nurgle has to exist because sickness and the cycle of rebirth is part of mortal life. Okay.
Well, it's entropy as well, isn't it?
So, entropy, yeah. And it's chaos in its purest form, and that is that chaos is the constant separation of things, right? It is
breaking it down into simpler parts.
Okay, so we've got three very important key parts of human nature there. We have sacked off the fact that we are driven quite a lot by greed, lust, the need for more, right? So our new god can either just sack that shit off entirely and we can just ignore primary concepts of being human, or we can tie that in a little bit with this new god. Now, I propose straight away that we have the chaos god of cream, right?
Cream?
Cream, you say? That doesn't make any sense.
Wait,
cream? What? No, cream.
Where's
right?
this going?
So, no, this makes sense.
Well, as in, like, thick milk?
Chris, are those your birds?
No, I think that's more of Mikey's.
Again.
Yeah, Mikey's got like a whole aviary out there.
Celebrating.
Zinch is not happy and about to get assaulted.
No, I've got. There's a reason why it's the god of cream, right? So I don't know what the god of cream's name would be, but I had chicken. I had chicken hot dogs for dinner today, and afterwards I had an ice bun filled with cream from Morrison's because I'm trying to watch my cholesterol. And
Eric,
one thing I
Eric,
realized,
the god of cream.
Yeah,
one
Eric
thing
Clapton.
I realized about cream is that it represents it represents a part of humanity. It's incredible, right? Cream's purpose is purely luxurious, right? It is humans crave the texture and taste of fats
or the
in their
moisture
mouth,
if it's one of them
right?
creams.
The only way we get
Hell,
cream.
this is tenuous. Go on.
The only way we get cream is by exploiting cows, right? So we exploit cows. We keep them constantly producing milk to make our cream. Cream is luxurious. It is the craving of
it's
fat.
the god of bovine exploitation, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And I think when you look at
it's got like a nose ring.
No, when you look at 2022, capitalist Earth, right? Burgers, cream, cheese. It is peak luxury, right? It is.
Well, I mean, come to the FineCast for your political hot takes.
Yeah. Well, I got this. I mean, it might have something to do with the god of cream because I found that quite funny. But mine is like the god of like jokes and like just having a fucking laugh. Yeah, Kegarach from Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls. Just somebody having a freaking laugh. And Warhammer.
And Warhammer.
Yeah, he's the Harlequin's laughing god. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But like less stabby murder. Because Kegarach is just like a bit of a dickhead as well, right?
No, he's a trickster god.
It's like Loki, isn't it?
He existed. Damn.
Yeah, you kind of just created the same god. We could just
it's almost like everything in Warhammer is derivative.
Yeah. Not only are Harlequins ruining the game, they're ruining my lore.
Oh, there's just no new ideas anymore. Let's just remake Spider-Man again.
The god of YouTube.
Sam Raimi's back.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a
Warhammerverse?
Damn, I'm retreating into Fallout.
Okay, you need a couple of minutes to come up with it. Yeah, you need a new god. Michael,
ideas.
Do you have? I mean, I've got other gods, but I'm starting. My opening gambit is the cream god. I don't think I sold it well. I don't think I've got much support
what they should
for my
do.
cream god.
I don't think you can.
No, not massively. No. I think they should be a god who is the god of corruption, of like religion and stuff. So like it's like he poses as like the emperor, but he's actually just an evil god and sets out this big church that's takes over the ecclesiarchy. No, but he's actually like evil. The emperor's good, right?
No,
sort of good.
No, the emperor's totally fucking evil, man. He's a chaos god.
He's dead anyway, isn't he?
No, he's a chaos god.
Dead.
The emperor is a chaos god.
He's just a husk in a chair.
I'm not getting into this. I'm going to do a new podcast with Winters soon.
God of religious fundamentalism.
Listen, I want to make this clear. I'm doing a new podcast, a law podcast with Winters, and I'm going to ask him to explain to everybody why the emperor is actually a chaos god, and he's going to explain it because he won't agree entirely that he's a chaos god, but he is not a benevolent god, right?
Can I make a recommendation?
He's a baddie. What?
Start early. It's going to go on quite a long time.
It's going to be a long one, yeah.
Magoof. Yeah, you're going to be going for a while.
Oh boy!
But I think
bring a drink.
I think that already. I've had plenty of drinks.
Guys, I found the perfect god.
Go on.
Carmen, goddess of foreigners and dark magic. She's a Celtic god. She's a Celtic god, Carmen, goddess of foreigners and dark magic. Because that's the Tyranids god, right? Hey, we're not from the galaxy.
She's like straight up out of an unedited Enoch Blyton book, isn't she? The god of swarthy foreigners.
Hello, I'm the god of racism. Welcome to 40k.
Hello.
I just imagine
the god of xenophobia.
A Frenchman, just a really stuck-up Frenchman.
It's the god of xenophobia, prejudice, religious fundamentalism, corruption. Yeah.
You just walk up and you go, "Parlez-vous High Gothic?" And they go,
"Yeah, exactly."
Je ne parle High Gothic, and then he slaps you.
I get what you mean, though, right?
So, do you have a flag?
You're talking about a god that directly challenges the imperial, the kind of emperor thing that's going on, right? And although,
not necessarily just the imperial truth, but yeah, the ecclesiarchy, but yeah.
Because like all the goodies are against that. That's already kind of a bad thing, right? Because if you're going to consider like Gilliman and the Ultramarines the goodies, which they're supposed to be, no matter how you look at it, they're supposed to be the good guys or whatever.
I had to fight back a yawn then.
Yeah,
I didn't. I just went for
it. They're supposed to be the goodies, and they're against this kind of cult of the Emperor cult, right? That's come about. So you've kind of you've got like a bad boy Emperor cult to already compete with your new Emperor god that's coming in, which we've already also got the four-armed Emperor. We've got the whole Gene Stealer cult thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe there's already a place. I think that's already kind of happening. Maybe not so much in Chaos God form, but it might already be kind of happening in the 41st millennium.
How about the god of sleep? Good night.
Sleep is not a bad.
Yeah, because you could get freaky with that. The god of sleep.
Go on, then.
Dreams and nightmares and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that might be Zinchi, like in its methods.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I was sort of thinking corruption is as well, like the Machiavellian plotting type thing. That's
because literally they use Machiavelli as an example for Zinch's doings, right?
Mm.
So yeah, bloody Zinch. We should have got rid of him, and then we could have just gone, hey.
I mean, I did tell you, but you know.
Right, here's one that's not one of the three gods. How about a sex god?
Oh, shut up!
Shall we?
Are we realizing that the lore writers made their gods so generic that we can't find anything else to shoehorn into
this
the
is
pantheon?
it.
There's nothing to add, yeah.
No, there's got to be. Listen, fantasy.
You've got to find China.
No, because you've got like Kragnos. We've
got God of succulent Chinese meals.
There's no god of like nature, is there?
Nurgle, right? Because he's all veggies.
Fuck, he is.
Yeah, there is. Anyway, there's an elven god of nature.
Yeah, I literally saw a god. I think it was god of vegetation, but all I could think of was like god of vegetables, and then
god
I was
of
like,
carrots.
Oh, it's Nurgle. Yeah,
really nice.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like Nurgle is definitely the god of carrots. You ever seen what comes out when you vomit?
Oh, the god of rainbow.
Nurgle's lunch bites, we call them.
Talking of Nurgle, I've got to blow my nose.
When you say we, who are you referring to?
Me and my dog.
Okay.
I'm going to blow my nose in the background.
He doesn't say it,
but you might hear it, and if so, just think it's like a Nurgle bit. All right, I'm going to go right the way over here. You carry on.
He's a monster. That wasn't far at all. I expected him to leave his chair. He just leant away from the microphone.
I can't leave my chair.
Perfect clarity. Yeah.
He's like, I'll go all the way over here. I was like, we'll see Chris in a minute then. He just leans like half a foot to the right.
I expect you to lean halfway over and blow your nose and fart into the mic at the same time.
We can't even have a god of farts because that's Nurgle.
It's Nurgle, yeah. There's got to be something.
My second choice.
There's got to be something out there that...
How about the god of bad law?
Ooh, that's
the god of mediocre writing.
Yeah, the god of writing.
Got what? Guy Haley.
Oh, savage!
That is rather
what
savage.
About,
his Blood Angels books are all right.
I don't know. What about the god of destruction?
Corn.
That's corn, though, isn't it?
Well, that's murder. It's like destroying things. Specifically, corn is like killing life, isn't it? Like killing off people,
slurping up that blood,
snuffing out souls. But
that's kind of a corn Nurgle hybrid, right? It's entropy and it's the destruction of things and
yeah, I suppose so.
That's the thing, though. All the Chaos Gods also destroy, Like that's like part
Yeah.
of their being, right? They do like, hey, I'm into disease, and I'm into like rim jobs, but I also kill people.
I want to see the whole of the
really,
galaxy.
really hard rim jobs.
Yeah,
with sandpaper. Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
Ouch.
Isn't there? There is another Chaos God that is kind of like it's on the fringes of
malign
real
or
lore.
something or whatever.
Yeah, who's meant to be like the undivided
Malice?
God, right? Is it Malice? He's kind of a bit of everything.
I don't know.
We should have binned him off, and then it would have made no difference.
He's Malice. He's a renegade Chaos God, and he hasn't appeared. Oh, he appears under the Warhammer 40k under the name Malal.
Malal.
Oh, Malal, yeah.
You could have done the god of ants. The ant god. Or...
what is this, a god for ants? Yeah, the renegade god. Yeah, like he's kind of just like... What does he do?
He's a bit of everything, isn't he?
Oh, God, this is a pain to understand. He's both
he's
feared
not
and
official.
hated.
He's somewhat official, but he's mentioned in the lore, but not super...
Ages ago, yeah.
Yeah, he's
like
not...
third
he's
edition,
not, like, in it. Yeah, he's a weird one.
I don't think that. I think it's like first edition, like Rogue Trader.
Oh, yeah. So there's a fifth major chaos god named Malice who embodies chaos' tendency to turn in upon itself and who acts against the interests of the other chaos gods whenever he can. Although he's certainly no ally of the Imperium either. So he's just like the god of infighting and bitching and backstabbing. Really.
Yeah.
Which is what Tzeentch is also the god of. So I guess that's why he disappeared, right?
I don't know. I think Tzeentch would make a temporary alliances to achieve an end. You know.
Yeah, but there's all that lore of we like because that's what he's done a couple of times. Old Tzeentch, like I haven't got any specific examples right now, but I've read a few things where he's like Tzeentch made an ally, and then right at the end he goes, "Ah, fuck you," and stabs him because of his own weird plans when they were like literally about to wing. And then they're like, and GW are like, and everyone's like, why have they done that? And GW are like, because he's Tzeentch, and we're like, fucking hell. GW,
because
right.
boogie.
Yeah, just screaming and loads of eyes.
I think we've realised that like
they did it all.
The worst has happened, isn't it?
If we want to make a Chaos God, we're gonna have to reach further out, right? Which is why I'd like to loop back to the God of Cream. Right, because I do feel like that brought something different to the table, but it might be a bit Slanesh. It's excessive, right?
Your pitch needs work, mate.
I'm going to look up something. The hierarchy of needs, and I'm going to see if there's anything on there that isn't covered by a god.
So what? So the four horsemen of the apocalypse are famine, war, pestilence, and
death.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have a god of death.
No,
specifically. We do have Nurgle, but then they're all gods of death. They all bring about the death. So we don't have our Nagash character. So we could have the Soul Keeper, the person who takes all the souls in the warp and is at odds with the other.
There's one here. Gods. There's love and belonging. So there's a hierarchy of needs. I've just looked it up, right? Yeah. And it's got physiological needs, air, water, food, sleep, It's got safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Now, self-actualization is already kind of covered by Slanesh. Obviously we deleted Slanesh, but when that was still around. Love and esteem is one I can think of. Love and belonging. Safety needs is like Khorne, you're just getting stabbed to death. Various, it's like physiological needs are like, getting ill and also getting stabbed to death. But looking at esteem and love and belonging, there could be like a real dark god. Like a pretty edgy god, thinking Corvus Corax in god form, who's just like, yo, hate yourself.
Just the god of emo.
Which I think might just be Games Workshop. Like you spend £100 in miniatures and I hate myself.
Okay.
There is a certain amount of self-loathing that goes with collecting Warhammer, isn't there?
Yeah.
In my slightly drunken mind, I am going to try and put that form that into an idea, right? So we just talked about the Nagash character that's missing, the Nagash god head that's missing. So what if it's a god of duality of death and life, as in the love for life and the love for death
into his eyes?
Yeah. So because it's a chaos god, it has to be something that manipulates. Right. The whole point of the chaos gods is they are ultimately malevolent beings, and they trick you into they lure you in, right? So they lure you in with instead of lust and vice and excess, which is what Slanesh does it with, right? So you can have all the power, you can have all the wealth, you can have all the women, you can have all the men, whatever you want, right? and lures you in. This is about you can enjoy, you can appreciate
belong.
life.
We love
you
you.
can belong. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can be part
can
of
have
something.
self-esteem. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, this
But
is
in
like
that,
the religious fundamentalism thing as well, isn't it?
No, but the thing behind it. So the trick of it all is that you only belong in death, because death is where everybody's equalized, right? So, and that's how this god of death is against it, because they all have all the chaos gods are against each other in a certain way. This god is taking souls. He's taking all the souls, and then Slanesh loves to eat a good elder soul, right?
Oh yeah,
but
tasty
not
snatch.
when this god of death has taken it all. And the trick is, if you want to belong, if you want to
become one with this god.
Yeah, and a lot of humans in the 41st millennium are going to be lacking that, right? They're all factory
all the love and belonging,
factorum workers
bitch,
and
then you die.
horror. Yeah, it's shit basically, and they get lured in with this. Come and be part of us, but actually you're just a corpse and a soul at that point. And that's how you join them.
Which, to be honest, for the average citizen in the Imperium of Man, won't be much different to what they were doing beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, for most of them, dying young is the best they can hope for, really.
Fewer
years of suffering,
horrible existence. Yeah.
I
think that's a pretty cool god idea, and we went from see what we've done there, and it's probably another. We could probably make a religion out of this. Is that we got to the cusp of giving up, and then suddenly, epiphany, and we're like, aha! We've come up with a god. So that's definitely we're making a FineCast religion, guys.
Wait, are we being lured in by this new god we've just created?
Yeah,
are we the three disciples?
Yeah, I've just given myself a bit more light force because 2 people now believe in me.
Yeah. Now, we can't call this god Nagash, because Nagash isn't really all about that. Nagash is...
Oh.
Nagash
Can we just call him the Gash?
The Gash, yeah. The thing about Nagash is that he, quite specifically, is the end of things, right? So Nagash's whole deal is, I'm not evil, but everybody has to come to me in the end. Right, everybody has to be dead in the end, and I will have their souls, and that's the bargain I strike with everyone. And it's why AOS was built around that contention, because Sigmar made his Stormcast come back from the dead. He could take their souls back, put them back in the body. And that pissed off Nagash. He was like, "No, that's not the deal. The deal is we're all cool. I'm a neutral party.
They're mine.
I get everybody when they die. This one
Give me all
is
your
more
life
about
force.
I get everyone when they die, as long as they agree that they are." When they're alive, that they're joining part of my thing, my promise, which is come and belong. But I'm gonna make it sound better than it is. Really, you're dead.
Yeah, it's like, come join me. You can go to heaven, and then they turn up, and it's just like, I don't know, like a shitty bowling alley from the 80s or something, and all they've got is cold chips. You know BFG, where he collects all the dreams and he puts them in those little jars, those little glass like bauble things with a cork in it. Yeah, round flasks. I imagine it's like that. And everyone, each soul goes in one of them, and they're all just in a big vault, and it's like, oh, and there's lots of moaning and stuff. And
so I've been looking up, just put the word Soul Eater mythology into Google, and I found the Nigerians, like ancient, more sort of older beliefs in Nigeria, where believes in like a witchcraft kind of thing, like a soul eater, someone who would steal souls. So I'm just doing an English to Nigerian translation to see if there's a cool name we can get.
Are you sort of live translating an ancient Arabic text or something, like an ancient tablet?
And what he's going to do is
I just realised I don't know what the Nigerian language is. I just put Nigerian. It's like, huh?
You mean you don't speak Nigerian?
I don't speak Nigerian.
I
Norwegian.
was kind of counting on you would.
Hold on, I'll go back. So Nigerian language. Let's put it in. Nigerian language. So the Nigerian language is English. Fuck. So I'm going to go English. So it's by the Hausa tribe, which is Hausa, and that's also apparently a language. So English to, let's see if it comes up. Hausa.
Gotta say, this is one hell of a tangent.
This is long.
Why don't you just here we go. Soul Eater. Hold on, I put an accidental capital letter in it. But soul, it's My Sin Rai, which is MAI space CIN space RAI. So why don't we just call him like Rai?
Rai.
Okay. RAI. And they're like, huh? And it's like, it's got a bit of a mystery to it. That's how GW do it, right? They just break up other languages. Rice in. That'd be a cool one.
Yeah, rice in.
How about we just have Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball?
Yeah. Oh no. No,
Copyright.
we don't talk about Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball, right?
That sounded like you hurt. You've been hurt in the past, Chris. What's up?
Just drop it right now.
What the fuck?
No? Stop it. Drop it right now. We're not going to talk about Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball. All right?
But like it's hot.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
he's got enough on his plate.
We're gonna have to dig into that because I don't know why Chris is.
Yeah, you dig into it later on. The FineCast.
Mikey just pressed play on some random video.
I just went on the website and it started playing the video.
If it's not the pigeons, it's YouTube.
I'm going to do the outro bit. All right.
Yeah, we got to finish up.
Yeah,
because we did it.
What we've done get anywhere? Did we get anywhere and do anything with this?
We deleted a god and made a new one.
We deleted Slanesh and we brought in basically Nagash 41st Millennium.
Control V.
Yeah, Control C, Control V for AOS.
Yeah. I don't know what I said, but yeah.
Thanks for spending an hour with us. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
Normal things. If you enjoy the music at the start of the podcast, it's by LA French, and you can check out his music on lafrench.bandcamp.com. We've been the FineCast. You can check out our cool socials and all that kind of stuff at
bonemagic.com.
bonemagic.com. There we go. And and thank you very much for tuning in and listening to us for a full hour. There's usually a bit about comments here, but because Barp didn't turn up, he's the one who usually looks at any of the new comments, so we're just going to skip over that bit.
Send some comments.
So with no Brap, you lose the comments, but you get more even conversation from everybody in the chat.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
You get to hear what Sultan sounds like. It's amazing. He's got such a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much, Mikey, for stepping in. We weren't going to mention it, but I ruined it. But thank you for stepping in.
We were just
my pleasure. Lots of fun was had by all.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed Mikey more than that other guy, I can't even remember his name now. It's been so long since we did a podcast.
Brapscallion.
Just spam the FineCast messages, because I think Brap Brap's logged into it quite a lot, just saying, "Fuck off, Brap, bring back Mikey P," and then we'll just make it happen. So.
Yeah, bring back Mikey P and then beans.
Yeah,
beans.
Yeah. That's what it always is, all right?
Post your favourite pictures of Mikey P on Instagram, bring back Mikey P, and we'll make it happen. Anyway.
And then I will send every one of you the recipe to my famous bean stew.
Yeah.
Oh, it involves testicles. Right.
Thank you very much.
And
we'll catch you next time. It's been a real blast. Thank you, everybody.
Lovely.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Don't know why I waved.
High pitched. Yeah.
I don't know why I waved. No one can see me waving.
Bye. Love you.
No one can see you.